Welcome to The Right Way to Play, the NAIA podcast, where we go beyond the scoreboard to explore college athletics the way it was meant to be. I'm your host, Austin Bennett.
And I'm Alan Grossbog.
In each episode, we sit down with coaches, athletic directors, student athletes, and thought leaders to talk about building champions on and off the field, fostering community through competition, and leading with common sense. Whether you're at an NAIA member institution or just passionate about the future of college sports, you'll find inspiration and insights here.
Austin, I think we have a great show today, like we have the last few, but I think we need to kick things off with a little segment called Red Banner Rundown.
No doubt.
This is where Austin and I share some quick hits, cool stories, cool stats, anything that I guess we're obsessed with right now. Austin, what do you got?
Yeah, I'll start off. We talked about it last time. We are now full-blown into conference play, conference tournament. We have qualifiers for our fall national championships. It seems like every day we have a new qualifier, whether it's cross-country, soccer, conference championships, things like that. Really excited about just kicking off the battle for the Red Banner here in the fall. I will say one thing I do want to share, and I'm excited to debut this fall, is kind of the Disney model training for student athlete experience that we did this summer as a champs team here at the NAIA National Office, and we'll be rolling out here this fall. The end-to-end design of the experience for both the coaches and student athletes, I really think people are going to notice the difference. And it's only going to add to what we're offering in terms of championships. What about you?
Yeah, I love that. I am really excited about an individual named Lennox Brown. He was featured in our storytelling series. He's a wide receiver from Morningside University. He's second on the team in receptions, second on the team in yards, second on the team in touchdowns, those kind of things. But what really got me was his quote. And it was, "Football has given me the platform, but if all I do is play, I've missed the point." And I am just obsessed with that, with that quote. And that's a young man that gets it and gets the power of sports and the power of him being a student athlete in an NAIA institution. It just, for me, it just really embodies the right way to play. And I'm jacked up for that individual and really Morningside University in football. And I think it's a great segment or segue into today's episode, where we're joined by two incredible leaders from Bushnell University, a school that's really setting the standard across the association for what character in college athletics really looks like.
That's right, Alan. Please welcome Corey Anderson, the longest tenured athletic director in the Cascade Collegiate Conference, a visionary who's grown Bushnell athletics from 4 teams to 17, led the Beacons to national titles, and built a culture rooted in academic excellence, community engagement, and character. And alongside him is Sarah Freeman, Bushnell's Associate Athletic Director and Senior Women Leader, the driving force behind the university's Champions of Character initiatives and one of the most respected voices in collegiate athletics. Sarah's leadership connects every corner of the department, from compliance and student-athlete success to mission-driven community service. Together, Corey and Sarah are shaping Bushnell's identity as the 2025 NAIA School of Character, proving that integrity, respect, and servant leadership can be just as powerful as any win on the scoreboard.
We're not worthy. I love this. I'm so excited, Corey and Sarah, to have you on the
gold banner. Let's go.
Let's go.
Love that intro. I will say, before any questions come up, part of your intro of what this program was about, and you said leading with common sense. I could tell Sarah had a little look in her eye of challenging me. Are you talking about Corey? You have to change that general intro, leading with common sense.
I like it. I love it. Sarah, your rebuttal.
Yes. I'm just here to fact check. So I will, once it's fully together, I will send in all of my fact checks and you guys can go from there.
Good to know.
Perfect.
Good to know.
Bushnell was recently named the 2025 NAIA School of Character. What does that recognition mean to the entire community, not just the athletic department there in Eugene?
Yeah, and we're an interesting community first off and foremost because we are across the street from the U of O, which often puts us somewhat in a shadow. So we really have to create our own environment and we have to really establish who we are. I think receiving this honor as a School of Character kind of substantiated to our student population, also to our community, heck, even to our coaches and our current student athletes and ourselves administratively, that we are doing things the right way. And we have been doing things the right way over the years, which in reality is this, I would say this award was kind of a culmination of years upon years. And both Sarah and I have been here for 20 years. And outside of growing our department, we haven't really done things differently with whether it's community service, our commitment to character with all of our student athletes and coaches. And so that's always been at the forefront for us. But it has been pretty cool from a community standpoint. Bushnell has received just a lot of recognition, whether it's been on, local radio show. It's been the mayor at her address recently. There was a billboard that was up in town. So yeah, the community's definitely embraced this honor, and it's been honoring just being part of that.
That's so cool. And to kind of piggyback on that, obviously national award, national recognition, but what does it feel like to you to be recognized not just by the NAI nationally, but by your peers in the conference as well, and them recognizing, okay, we go there for obviously road events, you come to their place, whatever it might be. What is it like when you're competing so highly on the athletic field to be recognized by them for this award within the conference?
Yeah, I would say it's humbling. It's a constant reminder to our student athletes. Now that we have this honor, I would say we were always playing with a high level of sportsmanship and high level of character before, but now all of a sudden we're kind of labeled. And so I do find myself probably a little more sensitive with my ears and my eyes on the sideline, making sure that someone doesn't throw this in our face, because sometimes you're out on the field and it's competitive and sometimes emotions run high. I want to make sure our coaches and our student athletes recognize who we are and who we're representing while we are competing.
I love that.
Sarah, I'm going to throw this question to you. Bushnell and Corey mentioned it in one of his earlier answers about connections within the Eugene community. And you've done a lot of unique things with whether it's shared facilities and things like that. How has that local integration just shaped the culture around the athletic department and the university as a whole? I don't think people recognize that Bushnell's a pretty small campus and athletics make up a good chunk of it, not in a bad way, but they're very integrated. And I'm just kind of curious from your perspective on that.
Yeah, I would say everything that we do is with the intent of, community focus, of having others involved. And so from the start, when I meet with recruits or when Corey meet with recruits, I always tell them, we want our community to support us. We have to support our community. So that's really, really important. And just service in general is part of Bushnell's tagline. And so it fits really, really well into what it is that we're trying to do in the initiatives that we have within athletics. So our triathlete model, where for us is centered on Christ, but our three models or our three triangles within the triathlete model is academics, athletics, and character. And so because we have a holistic approach to athletics, it helps us just integrate that and weave that into everything that we do from shared community spaces. We are, as Corey mentioned, next door to the University of Oregon. We are right in the middle of the city. We have a major street that runs through our campus. And so just by the nature of where we're at, we are in the city. We're part of everything that's going on around us. And we're also landlocked. And so all of our outdoor facilities are off campus. And so we send our students out in different directions. I tell everyone our campus gets really quiet between 2 and 6 p.m. because everyone is in practice somewhere in the city. And so,
Right.
Whether your baseball, softball, track, cross country, beach volleyball, everywhere our student athletes are out and about. And so our expectation is that they're representing us well. But then we also want to form community partnerships that we can give back to the spaces that we're in and the groups that we're working at. Our baseball and softball fields were built on school campuses, a middle school and a grade school, with the intention that our students can interact with the students there and that they can be the vision of what college student athletes could look like for a grade schooler and a middle schooler. So to plant that seed early and just to have those students work with them. We've had a grade schooler walk with one of our students on senior day because he was at practice every day and just stood on the fence. And so DJ got to walk with one of our girls. And so we love all of our community involvement, and it's just part of our DNA and who we are at Bushnell.
That's so cool.
That embodiment of it takes a village feels
Yes.
like it relates to Bushnell and how you engage in the community. And I think that's really, really neat.
100%. The fact that you took what is a perceived negative of being landlocked and having facilities, off campus has obviously been turned into a positive and it provided a great impact in the community. So kudos to you guys. So kind of piggybacking on that, you guys have had incredible program growth from adding sports to enrollment to facilities. How do you maintain that focus on character and relationship while the athletic department, not only as far as teams and student athletes, but even within the administration continues to expand?
Yeah, and that is difficult. I've recently reflected because back in the day, I was also a basketball coach here. I was an assistant coach for 4 years, and I was the head men's coach for 4 years. And our department was smaller, so I was able to do that. But relationally, it was just easier. There was less student athletes, and not only, and obviously the teams that I coached, I had great relationships with, but I still had, easy relationships with a lot of our student athletes. And I'm speaking for Sarah on this too. As we've grown, it's tougher. I'm no longer coaching, which now takes me out of the in the gym every single day and off the bus. And, there's road trips where a lot of memories happen when you travel. All of a sudden that doesn't really exist. And we've gone from, when we first started this thing, we had like 43 student athletes, and now we have 320. So Sarah is much better at names than I am. And so I'm constantly I'm like, Sarah, who's number 17? Sarah, who's number 23? So, and Sarah, bam, she knows it. If she ever wants to mess with me, she'll tell me someone's wrong name and I will never know, and I would yell it and look like an idiot. Don't listen to that, Sarah. That's no bad ideas. But yeah, that's the thing that I try to, again, naturally Sarah's better at this than I am, but I try to make sure that we're there and we're seen. It's like the other night we had an event on Tuesday night called Beacon Madness, and it's all of our teams, music and dancing. It's freaking awesome. It's so much fun. But Sarah and I MC that, and we get out there on microphones and we have fun because it puts us in front of our student athletes and they get to see our personality, because they're not always going to see my personalities. I'm whatever, standing at a soccer game. They might see me, cheering or yelling, but I'm not, it's not, well, it's kind of my personality. But yeah, so that's hard, but it's a strong emphasis from us is we are a relational campus, and our campus, athletically, academically, administratively, the student life aspect, we are very much a relational campus, and we pride ourselves. Sarah mentioned a few minutes ago, almost every student athlete recruit that comes on campus either meets with Sarah or myself for like a half. So we're getting that time before they even get here. So they know Sarah Freeman and Corey Anderson. We get to know their parents. And then, however many months later, we're at a game and mom and dad will come up and say, hey, you probably don't remember me, but we're in, when we were on a recruiting visit, we got to spend time with you. And, Sarah always, yeah, Mary Jane and Jeff. I'm like I'm sure we met. I don't remember you. Oh, but it's really important. It is harder. Again, getting back to the question, the larger we grow, the harder it is. But we also have our kids. Sarah's known as the snack woman on campus. So, I mean, she always has snacks in her office. Part of that is to draw student athletes up to the department and get, pre-practice, post-practice snacks. So that way they do. And we have our very consistent kids, but it's a percentage of our student athletes. It's not all of them, thank goodness, or we'd go broke. We'd have to have Costco deliver if everybody came in here all the time.
Well, we have our own snack woman in our office, Sarah Eckinger, who I know you both know very well. She is the go-to for candy to keep the office moving on long days. So glad to see it's not just us, and kudos to you, Sarah, for doing that.
It's a Sarah thing.
Yeah. And
It's a
Sarah,
Sarah thing.
I'm gonna go to you because you obviously know the students' names, so we won't throw this story to Corey. But Bushnell has a ton of stories that are inspiring around our Champions of Character initiative. And is there one that really encapsulates, you think, like your department and really captures kind of what the School of Character Award is about from your perspective?
There's so many stories, so it's hard to just pick out the one, or, when you say names, there are student athletes like Sarah Pescalacito that comes to mind, or Ty Kishin, or Gracie Hamilton in softball. So every team I could literally go through every one of our students, but we have a ton of different initiatives, and we also have graduate student assistants who help out in our office as well. And so I don't even know how many hours do you want me to spend answering this question?
Right.
But yeah, but I'll go back to our men's track and field team was named the NAIA Male Team of Character this last year as well. And Corey and I got to go to our conference meet with our teams, and just watching some of our male track athletes, how they just encouraged one another and each other. And we got to be known as the clapping team. As in track and field, jumpers, they all have their own clap. We have turned into like Jumper U, and so we have a ton of jumpers, and so everyone has their own individual clap, which they all know and share. And when they do it, they get everybody else involved, and then they do it for all of the other competitors as well. And so you can ask, Matt Sayer at SOU, their AD, he laughs at us, but I secretly think he's jealous. It's fun just to watch the camaraderie that our teams have with themselves, but then also the impact that they have on our campus, and then also within the CCC. So when all the other ADs are talking about, oh, your men's track team, and this is how they showed up at conference, that's the stuff that makes me so proud. Yes, we have good jumpers and they can stand on a podium. I'm more proud of, the guys encouraging the teammate next to them or praying with another competitor or picking up someone at the end of the line. Like that's the stuff that's more important to me. We're really competitive and still want to win, but we want to do it the
Right.
right way.
Yeah, absolutely. Infectious energy is what that sounds like. It's awesome.
All right, well, let's move to our Fast Five. It's our lightning round, kind of a nod to the champions of character, 5 core values. No overthinking, 5 questions, just your first gut reaction. It's where we swap the serious kind of questions playbook for some quick hitters that give listeners a little peek behind the scenes, behind the stats, behind your role on campus. So, Alan, kick us off.
Yeah, and we're expecting both of you to answer. So there's no opt-outs in these, Sarah and Corey. So question 1, what's something unique about Bushnell that people wouldn't normally know?
I sort of already mentioned it. We're across the street from the U of O. You know, when Chesney and Sarah and when they were here, people hear us say that, and then they get here and they're like, "You're being serious." I mean, it's literally right there. So it's crazy to be, you know, the Power 4 conference, Nike U, gets right there, which we build that environment to our campus. Like we sell Oregon's hosting USC in football because guarantee there's not an NAIA conference or NAIA school in America that gets to feel what that game day feels like. 'Cause literally it's walking through our campus. When ESPN Game Day was here, having that literally 200 yards away from the corner of our campus, our whole student population was out there at 5 a.m. So
that's incredible.
There's a pretty unique quality at a, at a small
interesting.
faith-based Christian university that we get to have. And we love it. Like we love being where we were. That was not a lightning answer.
That's all right.
There you go.
Okay.
Sarah, you're on.
Yeah, no, I would just say the longevity of our staff between Corey, Nick Askew, who's our assistant AD for communications, and myself, we've literally been doing this together for 20 years. And so to really have come in and built what we have from scratch and to still be here, I think it's one of our secret weapons.
Yeah, quick
So
shout
cool.
out to Nick. Nick is awesome.
Yes.
I really enjoy Nick.
Nick's the man.
All right, next question. It's midnight and you're hungry. Where are you going? And what are you ordering?
This is a Sarah question because I'm probably asleep.
That's true. Midnight is like, I'm just starting to get going. So I might just be having lunch at midnight. These are my hours. I love anything soft serve. So if I can get a blizzard or if I'm not in Oregon, frozen custard is my jam. So I love coming out to Kansas City so I can get some frozen custard.
What kind of mixer in that?
A concrete, I want Oreo and banana and caramel.
Okay.
Banana. That's
Nice.
a curveball on me.
Very nice.
Corey?
Alan's a Reese's guy. And
Austin is M's with chocolate sauce.
we know each other well.
Not joking.
A lot of travel together.
Mine's probably, let's see, Burrito Boy might be open if I'm driving home. So swing by Burrito Boy and get something. Local establishment. It's really good. Other than that, I'm probably at home. That means I'm opening up my refrigerator and seeing what is left that my teenage boys didn't devour. So
Fair.
maybe an old slice of pizza.
There you go. Austin, mine will be Waffle House with Corey and Sarah.
Yes.
Going probably for the
Waffle
sausage, egg, and
House.
cheese,
Yes.
toasted sandwich, and veteran move, jalapenos in the hash browns. I would have never thought of that, but somebody
on
did
now.
that recently, and I'm
Go
on
there for
I'm
the
into that.
waffles and for the vibes.
Yes,
For sure.
exactly.
See, we don't get to do Waffle House out here, so. But I do have good memory of late night with you guys at Waffle House. I was sharing those pictures with Sarah.
That was good times.
They look less appealing on the pictures I took than live.
Correct. The lighting's a little bit different in the pictures, the ambiance for sure.
Austin, what do you got? It's midnight. You haven't answered.
I'm the same. If I'm up at midnight, I'm probably laying in bed with one of my daughters who won't go to sleep, but I'm going Taco Bell.
Ooh, there you
Taco
go.
Bell, Mexi Melts or, quesadillas, something like that.
We'll
Yeah,
get you
love
the
it.
next morning.
That will get you the next morning.
Get you out of bed.
All right, we got to pivot. If you had to trade jobs with one Bushnell student athlete for a day, which sport are you suiting up for?
Oh, dude, I am going Jermaine Sexsnyder, and I'm a triple jumper because all that dude does is walk around campus, and he's like friends with every human on campus. I think he goes to class. I know he goes to class, but literally he has a rotation of 100 people he just gets to hang out with every day. So I want it. And then he always walks into my office. Literally comes in every day, goes, "Hey, who are you emailing? Because I'm always on my computer."
All right, Sarah, same question for you. If you had to trade jobs with one student athlete for a day, who are you suiting up as?
I'm going to choose Ashton Harvey from men's basketball because if you've seen me in person, I'm slightly vertically challenged. And so being able to be over 6'4" and reach anything I want to all day long, I'll take it.
Love
Deal.
that.
Austin,
Absolutely.
we don't know the athletes, but what sport?
But
Sorry.
Ashton's also got a sweet mullet, and he's a men's basketball player. That's what Sarah really covets.
Oh, I love
You're
that.
really selling it. I love it.
I mean, business in the front and party in the back. What more do you need? Austin, what sport are you suiting up as at Bushnell?
Well, seeing pictures and hearing about this golf practice facility, I don't know how I couldn't want to be a golfer
You stole my answer.
out there for the Beacons.
I want to
Good
be on the
choice.
golf team. Although their other facilities do look pretty sweet too.
They do. All right, Corey. We also hear that you're basically Bushnell's Santa Claus. Tell us how that tradition started.
Isn't there? Right behind me. Look here, I'm going to put this up. This was last year's Christmas card.
Love it.
Now, the best one, I'm sure you've seen it because it's on Chesney's desk. I've seen it, or near her desk. I've seen it over there. But we've got a really good one coming this year. So, but yes, I actually during COVID, this is going to be kind of a heartwarming story. During COVID, my wife, who is a VP at the YMCA, obviously it was COVID and everything was on Zoom. And so I started doing Santa Claus via Zoom for the YMCA just so kids had
Cool.
Santa. You couldn't go to the mall. And I was one of the first ones. It kind of was local. And then all of a sudden it kind of got big. And then the Y never knew where people were like registering from. And all of a sudden I'm down in SoCal. I'm in the Midwest. I'm in New York. It was pretty funny. So like and I'm being serious, if you Google like Zoom Santa Claus, I'm one of the top things that pops in there still, 5 years later.
Legendary.
But I did
Love
that
that.
I did that for like 3 years, and it was awesome because literally I'd be on these kids like tablets, and literally I was like in their home, and they're showing me the family dog and showing me the Christmas tree, and then they're bringing up last year's presents and telling me something broke. It was seriously hilarious. But I would do that for hours, like 5 nights a week. I'd work here and go down to the Y and get on Zoom. And I had, and I was just top half Santa. I was wearing shorts because I was on Zoom. And then over the last couple of years, I've now moved on. I get hired. I do lunch, business luncheons. I'll do things on campus. I still do things for the Y. I get hired by some couple of the private Catholic Christian middle schools, elementary schools. I'll do things in their classroom. So yeah.
Hey, if you're looking for a Santa, it
Yep.
sounds like we've got your guy. Like,
That's right.
Well, I'd never had a beard before. And then COVID, I grew the beard and I looked like a warlock, actually. This thing was so
Yeah.
long. But
Gandalf the White, for sure.
But yeah, so then, it just kind of happened. He became Santa Claus. It was a good excuse to keep weight on.
Perfect. Last one word answer.
And we emphasize one word answer.
One word. What's the Beacon way to play?
Did you have a word?
I have a word.
Oh, well then go.
I say passion.
That was a good word. Dang it. Competitive.
Very good.
Nice.
We'll take
Nice.
it.
I like it.
What's the NAIA one word, the right way to play?
I'll go character.
Awesome. Just
There
awesome.
we go.
Love that. Well, Corey and Sarah, thank you so much. Thank you for taking the Fast Five and making it just a normal 5 questions. And
20
5
segment.
we asked you before, but very thoughtful nonetheless. Tell our listeners where they should go to stay up to date on Beacon Athletics and all things Bushnell.
Yeah, I'd say bushnellbeacons.com. It's on the World Wide Web. So if you click on that, you can find a lot of things, schedules and rosters.
Well, good deal. Our listeners can obviously stay connected there on the World Wide Web. They can stay connected with us at NAI.org and on social at PlayNAI.
Yeah, Austin, every game has a walk-off moment. This one's ours. I'd like to close each episode with our big takeaways from the conversation. What stood out to you today talking to our friends from Bushnell?
The word relationship or relational comes to mind for me. They talked about the 3 of them there in the athletic administration side of things being together for 20 plus years. They talk about how they've not only taken that and put it into the athletic programs and the coaching staffs, but also out in the community. So it's one of the things I love most about the NAI is the relational side of things, all things on campus, and what they're doing at Bushnell has got to be top notch amongst our membership. So that's my walk-off thought.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just fun. It just seems like the people at Bushnell have a great time and really, really enjoy one another and do it in not only in the heat of competition, but outside of that. And that's just, it's inspiring and it's energizing. And that to me, really stood out in the conversation today.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us on this episode of the Right Way to Play podcast. We hope you enjoyed the conversation, got a glimpse of what makes college athletics so powerful. We'd love to hear from you, your thoughts, comments, even ideas on future guests. Drop us a line at therightwaytoplay@nai.org. and help us shape where this podcast goes next.
Until next time, keep playing the right way.